Welcome to the WDW News Today Podcast. My name's Eric Morton. With me is grumpy-looking Tom Corliss. I saw that frown.
I feel like Biff Tannen with this hairstyle I was given at the...
He's no longer Toupee Tom. Now he's Jimmy Neutron.
Got a blast. That's me. Me after the next 48 hours. Got a blast.
No, I appreciate you growing the hair out. I'm cropping
Well,
mine
it's
short.
shorter now. We realized it got to a point where, because Rosanna wants me to grow it out.
You have to cut it to make it grow.
It's
you got to
my
style
hair
it along
gets
the way.
weird. So when it gets to a certain length, it just gets puffy, and I have a lot of flyaways. And so it got to that. It looked good for a little bit last week, and then after the Disneyland half marathon, it was like
Stick with
done. It was done.
You're doing great.
So I had to get it shaped again because of the 3-week vacation. So
The WIGS are live in the chat.
yes.
If you want to learn how to be a WIGS member, support us on Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/WDWNT. And at the $7 and up level, you get to watch us do this live ahead of time before we edit it and make it neat and clean like it always is. Mike is in the chat. Mike and Centaur and said, HHN wore me out. Must be getting old. Finally up and about today. The app Centaur went to HHN. Centaur, for those that don't know, is Mike's guide dog.
Yeah.
So Mike is blind and Centaur is a guide dog. And he came to the studio yesterday, and wow, Centaur is something else. He's a lot of fun. He did knock over some artwork, but you won't even be able to tell what he knocked over.
I heard at Horror Nights, though, Centaur didn't want to go down the wet path at Terrifier, so he sent Mike that way. And Mike came out all wet, and Centaur was dry.
I want to know how Centaur did in the Cat Lady Scare Zone, where there's all these people dressed as cats.
I think because they're not cat-shaped in size, I assume he was probably fine.
I don't know. There's a fantasy in my head where Centaur goes absolutely nuts and chases the cats around, but I think Centaur has a little bit more discipline in that. He's a professional.
He is the most well-behaved dog I've ever met.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But should we preface the scenario, starting with today's show? Number one is I'm going away for 3 weeks, and we've just what are you're hitting?
There's
pause.
a pressing comment in here from the WIGS
right.
in the live chat. Says, can I get a shout out? That's VR Money. Can I get a shout out? When are we getting Unboxed back with merch and bourbon? Boxed in. A lot of people call it Unboxed. Boxed in. We actually had an episode on Friday. You did. So you missed that.
Yes.
Some of the other people missed it, but that is on WDWNT.tv where we unbox stuff. We did all the D23 mystery pins. Do you think we got them all?
No,
we didn't.
No.
So, oh well. I didn't mean to spoil that show for you, but that is out there.
You should still probably go.
We do it live from my kitchen. Very low production value, but we make up for it with very low quality content. That's our catchphrase. We're working on that.
Yes.
Are
you doing more while I'm gone or no?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. I don't think this week because Jason is out of town and Jason runs the VMix and stuff for that.
Okay.
But, and I don't know if Jill's. I don't know.
They'll figure it out.
We'll see.
We're doing stuff on the TV channel. For those that aren't aware, there is another channel here at WWNT. If you punch in WWNT.tv in your browser, you'll find it, or just search WDWNT TV on YouTube. Right now, that channel is home to Boxed In occasionally. It's home to News Tonight during the remainder of its regular run until February, and it's also the home for our vlog content. So the Hong Kong vlogs are there. There's an Oogie Boogie Bash vlog that should be out by the time you're seeing this. You'll be able to watch, and then all of the European stuff we're going to be filming from Disney Cruise Line in Norway, and Disneyland Paris will be over there as well. But there is a lot of new content coming to both channels. And so I want to advise you should go subscribe and check out that other channel because several of our new shows will be over there.
Tom, you were just in Disneyland for a few days,
Yes.
so I haven't seen you since last week. But, I see that you got another medal. You ran another
I got 3
Run
medals.
Disney race.
They're definitely a scam.
Yeah. And then you left and immediately Paint the Night caught on fire.
Yeah. I saw the last performance before it caught on fire.
Yeah.
The night before.
I was, as you know, asleep in my bed at 1:30 in the morning. I got a call from Arlo. Ordinarily, I wouldn't have that call because my watch is usually charging, but my watch was not on the charger. It was on my wrist. So I get the vibrating missed call from Arlo, and I get to wake up in the middle of the night and write an article about a float at Paint the
We
Night
both
catching
did that
on
last
fire.
night. So Our newsroom typically closes sometime between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. depending on the day. And so just after 11 o'clock, Rosanna and I are getting ready to go to bed. And she's like, oh, they've officially moved the maiden voyage of the Disney Adventure. Who saw that coming? That got moved. And so I got out of bed at like 11:10 and did that. And then after that was done, I was like, whew, I could go to bed now. And so I went to bed, and apparently Arlo tried calling me, and I was asleep. But luckily you got the call.
I was his at least third option.
Yeah.
And of course, not only did he have photos from the scene, because Arlo obsessively watches
Luckily, he's at every performance
of everything that happens at Disneyland. But he also had screen capture footage of live streams that were further up the parade route that got stuff, because they were also watching the live streams that people had on YouTube
as they waited for the parade to get to them.
But I couldn't really use that video. Number one, it's someone else's live stream, but also number two, there's like messages coming across the screen. They're just like, hey, so-and-so says, hey, where are you? And all that kind of, it would have been weird. But so that was a good time to do that. And then, of course, I never got back to sleep.
The news never stops.
I haven't been to sleep since 1:30 a.m., basically.
Fun. A good thing we don't have a long day today.
Oh, boy. It's not like we're going to be recording several episodes of the podcast back to back to back and then releasing them weeks apart from one another.
Yeah, that's certainly
we would not do that, Tom.
No. Did you bring shirts to change into also?
Yes. What are you talking about? We would not do that. We would.
No, I certainly don't have Lori pressing like 7 shirts out in the lobby right now. That's not happening at all.
Oh, well, things happen. Do we want to do snack time before?
Let's get snack time.
You started getting right into it, and I was like,
I didn't want to get into it. No, the thing I wanted to say was, just so people know, I'm going to be away for 3 weeks. And so we had to record a bunch of these at once. So I apologize, there won't be current events in a lot of these or any of them. But we wanted to make sure we don't take a long break with the podcast again.
All right.
What is the
today? This is all just, look, it's been pretty lazy recently, just World Market stuff. It's just whatever I got in one run at World Market recently. By Loacker, the Quadratini Cappuccino Bite-Sized Cream-Filled Wafer Cookies. This can't be bad, right?
I mean, I'd be shocked.
Oh, they're little tiny ones.
Yeah, they're
get a
little
whiff
squares,
of that.
right?
Yeah, they're tiny ones, though.
Yeah. I'm just going to do the rest
That
of the show
is
with this
cappuccino,
like, over
man.
my mouth.
I mean, that is a very strong cappuccino flavor.
Those are the most coffee-flavored cookies I've ever had. It's like I'm eating grounds.
They are a little dry. I have to say that.
A little.
And by a little dry, they're super dry.
They're not great.
But if you like filtered some espresso or cappuccino, if you filtered some espresso through like sawdust and then compressed it, I think this is what you get.
Do you like coffee grounds? Do you like... There you go. Do you like coffee grounds? Do you wish your coffee grounds were in between wafers? Well, do I have the cookie for you? Introducing Loacker Quadratini, which I think is also a Pokemon, cappuccino bite-sized cream-filled wafer cookies. The cookie with the grind crunch.
I give these like a 2. They're
pretty bad.
Very disappointing.
Remember when you said, how could these be bad? We figured it out.
I jinxed us.
All right.
You need Fresh, the mouthwash for droopy dragons. That's an old Spider-Man record from when I was a kid. Don't worry about it. I like product placement, though. All right. Now that we've gotten all the nonsense out of the way, which we have not.
It's really hard to drink out of this cone.
The cone is hard to drink. Imagine that. The sipper is not really conducive to drinking something. It's just decorative. Wow. We're breaking new ground here. I know you were up late for the Disney Adventure news, so...
Also, we only got home. We landed at 6:30 yesterday. I got home, ate dinner.
I thought your flight was in the morning.
Yeah. There's a time difference.
It's only 3 hours difference.
Okay. The flight, I have to leave for LAX. There's traffic in the morning. We had to leave at 7 a.m. Mm-hmm. We got there, which is enough time for a 10 a.m. flight. The 10 a.m. flight lands at 6:30 p.m. in Orlando.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, you lose like a whole day. That's why I
at
like
math.
the red eye, honestly.
I do
You
like
feel like
the
you
red
don't
eye
lose the
better.
day. But, I needed to be back. We had our WIGS Zoom call last night, and then the news broke, and then I finally was like, it's time for bed.
I knew that adventure was not going to be on time. Everybody knew that. It was the
did.
worst kept secret in the Walt Disney Company.
Why didn't I book it? I should have booked it knowing that there'd be some sort of benefit, like 50% off a maiden voyage or something of the like.
Yeah, I mean,
regret not having booked
it's
it.
this point. We have the desk.
We had insider information. I would not be good at insider trading.
Would they be on track if they had like left the casino and stuff in the ship? Because like Disney cruises don't have casinos.
It's not the boat. It's not the ship itself. It's all interior.
Yeah.
The interior is not going to make it.
Because we had a great idea. Because yes, Disney doesn't have casinos on their ships, but we figure in Asia they're catering to a different market. If they would sail to like Macau or someplace like that, and they get all the there's a lot of like gambling culture in that area, in that part of the world. So they combine the casino with something else that's popular in Asia, which is Duffy and Friends. So the Duffy and Friends casino, there would be a line.
I would.
If Lena Bell came out and was a blackjack dealer at like the $100 a hand table, there would be a line for 8 hours to go gamble at that table. This is a printing money idea.
Man.
No, you don't like it? I think they should.
I don't know. Olu Mel could hide cards in his shell, so.
Gelatoni is painting the number like Keno, but instead of them calling out the number, he's painting the number.
Yeah.
333. All right, sorry.
Duffy and Friends Lucky Time Casino.
Yeah. Come on, the craps pit with like Cookie Ann.
Craps, Cookie Ann.
Cookie Ann, craps. No, all right.
Should we begin?
Yeah, I guess we should start.
Do you want to introduce the concept?
So here's the concept, and this is going to be going on for a few weeks now.
Yes.
Our concept is that Tom and I are going to redesign Disney World theme parks from scratch, land by land, including concept art, which is how we lean on our pal Charlie, very talented artist. So as we come up with these ideas and flesh out these lands, Charlie will then provide the concept art, and we will try to make a better Walt Disney World theme park experience for everybody. A couple caveats. We're not going to necessarily limit ourselves to the exact footprint of the existing park, right? So if we want to go a little further outside Magic Kingdom, why don't we? Dream
they're
big.
doing it.
Yeah, they're doing that stuff. So I think that that's a good place to start.
Okay.
Is we set some ground rules that these don't have to fit neatly into the footprint of where they are. They have to fit.
I want things to fit.
I want them to fit generally into the area where they are.
I've tried to keep my thoughts realistic. Just so.
Oh, I'm dreaming. So we're going to
Okay.
probably be a mixture there because some of the things that I want just have to widen things. Look, we have to widen some areas, knock a few bushes down here and there. Maybe
maybe a river. Remove a river.
We'll see in a couple episodes when we get there. I have ideas for that river.
Okay.
So we don't know what we're going to agree on, but I think Tom and I have pitched some ideas back and forth, and we have a general idea of what we want to do.
Maybe for the episodes after this, we should just pitch each other our ideas and not tell each other in advance what we have.
That might work.
But for this one, we already know. And it's also like, so for the first episode, we're starting with Main Street. Mm-hmm. I don't know that we have a lot for Main Street because it's Main Street. Like, there's not a lot of room to work with, number one. And number two, like, there's not attractions really. So there's only so much to play with to begin with.
There are attractions, but
it's
they're
also
mostly like vehicles.
Yeah.
And you could put in, like the Main Street Opera House has an attraction at Disneyland, et cetera. Yeah. So I guess we'll start from the front of the park. Main Street, USA at the Magic Kingdom is our first adventure. All right, how do you want to start?
Should we just get the big problem out of the way first?
Which of the big problems?
Well, I don't know. Is there anything bigger than the bypasses?
No, I think the bypasses are the biggest problem at Main Street USA, or the lack of bypass, depending on how traffic is flowing that day.
So for those that don't know, I think everyone knows, as attendance has grown over the decades at Magic Kingdom, this has happened at several Disney parks now, there's been a need to, obviously Main Street is a happening place, especially in the evening. You have parties where you let people in. You need to separate the traffic leaving the park versus people coming in. There are nighttime parades, there are nighttime shows. You need a way to get people around the crowd that's waiting to watch these things and into the park if that's what they wish to do. And so Magic Kingdom eventually on the right side of the street built a bypass. And I use that in the loosest sense of all of those terms.
They opened a gate.
They paved a walkway and put up some green fences and maybe a billboard or two and put up a tree. And that was kind of it. And on the left side of Main Street, there is a bypass, but it's very much a backstage area. They really didn't try to clean up that side, and they use that side way less often. Disneyland did a similar thing. Their right side of the street, they kind of just built a giant fenced walkway.
Theirs might be rougher.
It's pretty lame. It's pretty lame. And then sometimes at Disneyland, you go down that other side, and it's really they've pulled down curtains on the back of the Main Street buildings. But of course, in 1992, when Disneyland Paris opened as Euro Disney, they solved the problem. They built side streets. They built covered arcades that act as the bypasses. So not only are they covered streets to walk on and avoid traffic and avoid the elements, they also offer back entrances into a majority of the Main Street businesses. They have attractions in them. There's a wonderful museum exhibits. There's I don't know, walkthrough is a little strong, but there's a vignette to go view about the Statue of Liberty on the left side in the Liberty Arcade. They're really magnificent, and they've been celebrated for, since the park opened. Yet Walt Disney World and Disneyland at no point decided it was worth spending the money to emulate those. So, but I think, Eric, you messaged me and you said, I want to do a bunch of gardens.
Right. So outside of the arcade, so basically what I want to emulate is the arcades from Disneyland.
You do want to have the
Paris.
arcades too, because that's what I have.
That was in my list.
Yeah.
It's on my wish list. But in addition, outside of those, because I can go as wide as I want because I'm dreaming.
Yeah.
I want some sort of winding paths with grass and trees and benches and areas that are shady and out of the way, but also help with traffic in the parks at very busy times. And I thought, what better way? Let's showcase a few fountains here and there. Let's use some water features, keep it interesting, and have a little nice hidden spot where if someone wants to get away for a minute, they can sit on a bench in a shady area there. They're not right in the hubbub of Main Street.
Okay. Well, I mean, with a realistic point of view, that could be accomplished on the right side.
Yeah.
You'd have to get rid of that manager parking lot, and we are. Between Main Street and Tomorrowland, as part of this, I think we can agree, those managers are parking elsewhere.
Well, so really Main Street USA and the Magic Kingdom is built on the second level.
Yeah.
There are utilidors under there, but there is nothing under that parking lot. So we could feasibly even let the managers park underneath there. Put a little garage for them.
I don't want to even spend our Imagineering bandwidth to figure out where they park. Let someone else figure that out.
Okay.
I don't care about these managers.
Let them park at the Contemporary.
They can park across the street at the Contemporary and walk. I'm sorry. We care about the guests.
Yeah. Maybe
want you to have
one
your
little
garden.
VIP drop-off area, right? For the VIP tours, that is where the VIP tour vans congregate.
They drop you off into the garden,
They
that's all.
drop you off there in their garden.
You enter through the garden.
Yeah. The one note is that on that right side, you almost need to obstruct the view of fireworks and things like that so people aren't congregating in that park to watch it.
And you know what does that? Our second
Trees.
story.
Yeah. So
if we build the arcade, we also want to expand the second story of Main Street out to that side. And so that would leave a lot of room upstairs. And I think we both agreed that there should be a fine dining restaurant and a lounge upstairs. So I think we want to have essentially Walt's Restaurant from Disneyland Paris, but instead of being a celebration of that park's art, it should be a celebration of all the art that went into creating the Magic Kingdom and Walt Disney World. It should tell the story. It should be a bit of the story of Walt Disney, his dream of Walt Disney World and how it was brought to life. So maybe the restaurant begins with Walt, it begins with Disneyland and the influences Disneyland had on Magic Kingdom. And then maybe there's a room that celebrates the people and when they walked the property and all of those things. Or maybe even the trips they took via plane to visit the site. And then you should have a room that's dedicated to Roy Disney, who executed the dream. But then all throughout celebrate the arts of all the different the models and maquettes and paintings and all the things that celebrate the work that was done to bring the Magic Kingdom to life. But in the middle, I do want a lounge. Mm-hmm. I do want Bar Marceline is what I want to call it.
So, and that is above, I think, a Main Street soda fountain. Why not have a Main Street soda fountain?
Yeah.
A fully functioning, old-fashioned Main Street soda fountain. And secretly, upstairs, the adults can go to get, a little nip of something else. Maybe this was Prohibition era, right? You're talking about turn of the century through into the 20s.
I love how people are just getting over the idea of bars at the Magic
Now
Kingdom.
we're putting them everywhere.
Beacon Barrel, and I think we're going to end up putting 2 to 3 in this park by the time we're done. But I think if you're going to have a fine dining restaurant, I think you need to have mixed cocktails, elevated mixed cocktails. Yeah. And I think they should be upstairs. And I maybe Bar Marceline is just above this, so it acts as like the lounge for both spaces.
Sure. That's fine with me.
But the soda fountain, it's an opportunity. Coca-Cola is a wonderful sponsor. I'm sure they'd love to be involved. It would take some pressure off of, if you move like the floats and stuff down there, it would take a little bit of pressure off of Plaza Ice Cream too.
I want a little bit more authenticity on Main Street USA, right? So I want some environmental changes, including I want the more organic meet and greets with Mickey and Minnie and the characters like you have at Disneyland, where you're not waiting in line inside a building for this character, but the characters spontaneously appear and you can meet them. It feels more special, I think,
it does,
than waiting in line for an hour to meet with Mickey Mouse. I want a Wells Fargo wagon going up and down that street. I want a River City pool hall. I know we're in Marceline. Give me a pool hall. Give me some of that stuff that takes you back to that soundtrack of the Music Man that's on there. I also thought about something very hard, and this will not be popular.
Okay.
Starbucks does not belong on Main Street USA. It is not of the time. It is not. It kind of reeks of desperate American consumerism. Let's put it somewhere else. Put it in Tomorrowland. You know where Noodle Station is, or Noodle whatever, over there at Tomorrowland Terrace? Yeah, put it over there. Don't put Starbucks on Main Street USA. That's valuable real estate.
That's probably a better spot. So, thematically, I don't have a problem with it.
It takes me out of it a
think
little.
Operationally, that makes way more sense. The problem is in the evening, you're never going to wrestle that space away from the dessert party people. Unless
we have ideas for that.
We do. So the Walt's restaurant has to have a patio. Right. I think that looks towards the castle, and I think there's an opportunity there for fireworks viewing. The problem there is you're not going to have there's no way you're going to have enough seats. You're never going to get to the size of Tomorrowland Terrace. And the way, let's look at it honestly, if Walt Disney World management was in the way, what they would say is, that's another spot for dessert parties, like an even more premium dessert party event. But we want to keep these ones down here too, because those make a lot of money.
And just so people know, I think Tom and I are aligned in this. Main Street USA is 2 stories all the way down on both sides.
Yeah.
Different things to do, different places to go, different things to see. And there can be open air areas where you can view things from a rooftop or something like that if you want to, fireworks or whatever.
Well, I think the other side of the street, when we go 2 stories, I think they should move Club 33 to that side. I think it should be above Main Street. They should have a fireworks view. And also, I think that opens up some opportunities in Adventureland, which we'll talk about later. But I think getting them out of that little corner of Adventureland, the front portion of Adventureland is really underutilized. Right, that first little bit of walkway has nothing except Buona Bob's cart. Then you have a really tight seating area for Sunshine Tree Terrace, and you have that little snack location. Then you have the entrance to Skipper Canteen and the treehouse. There's a lot of very underutilized space there, which I'm sure we'll address when we talk about Adventureland.
When we get to Adventureland.
But getting Club 33 out of the way in that corner, I think opens up some possibilities. So I think, look, that's where they should be anyway. That makes the most sense. Shanghai, it's above Mickey Avenue. It's a beautiful location. It's perfect place to be. Let's move them there. They use that side. And then that way it's not really, it's something special for Club 33 members, but at the same time, if you're an everyday guest and want to have a similar experience, you can go to Walt's restaurant across the way and have a fine dining experience and go outside and watch the fireworks on the patio. And you're not excluding people necessarily.
And minor gripes. There are some things that Disneyland does better than Magic Kingdom.
Sure.
Among those is the fresh preparation of like confectionery type of goods.
Yeah.
Peanut brittle, the peanut butter square, all those type of things that you get. Now when you go to the Magic Kingdom, you're really getting a sort of like sanitized view of someone preparing food, right? They're sort of decorating more than they are preparing. So I want that old school organic feel. I want a taffy pulling machine in a window somewhere.
Can we remodel the confectionery? Because
Yes.
I hate what they
just did it, and I don't love it.
The Colonel Kitchen is perfection. Leave them alone.
Mm-hmm.
Don't touch them. That corner's fine. It looks good enough. And also what they do is fantastic. That's a little bit more of the Disneyland experience, what they do at Colonel Kitchen. I like that.
Right.
But the rest of confectionery, it's just so plain and boring in there. You can get M&Ms anywhere. Let's, if M&Ms wants to be a sponsor, if Mars is a sponsor, let's put them somewhere else. We'll find somewhere else in the park that's maybe a little kookier. Tomorrowland's begging for there's some empty retail space in Tomorrowland. Let's save that Mars partnership for something over there maybe. And in the meantime, let's get the confectionery back to how it's supposed to be, which is a little more like, I agree with you, like Main Street at Disneyland. A bigger show kitchen, like show people more, make more stuff, make more of those treats that have become synonymous with Disney parks. And it's a shame. Like Disneyland's the only one that does it. It should be a thing at all of them. I want that interior to go more. I'm not saying they don't need the bigger interior they made. That's great. But it should be a little more thematic. It should fit the period a little better. And let's dial back. Like I'm not saying, hey, if some of the candy apples and stuff have a Mars product in them or on top of them, I don't mind that that's on the sign. But like having a wall of M&M dispensers is nonsense. That's not fitting of the venue.
I think that's a very sort of dated view of like how, you could see this kind of crap. This is the kind of crap you see in Times Square.
Yeah.
Right? Where here's a bunch of piles of M&Ms in a tube. Like that's not modern and it's not classic. It's something in between that's sort of tacky.
Yeah.
That was interesting in its moment in time and that time has passed. So I'm okay with getting rid of that. You had an idea for the firehouse.
Yeah, so I find the firehouse is underutilized. Since Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom left, don't get me wrong, I like that they went back to the more traditional firehouse look. I like all of the patches throughout. I like the fire truck being there. And I don't even want those things to go away. I just want to utilize that backspace a little better. I want to we should celebrate, it's a very noble profession. Firefighters, and at the time of Main Street, USA, at the turn of the century, those public workers are highly revered. Your public service workers. And so I want an interactive experience that celebrates that like explains to kids, the importance of firefighters and they give you like a little interactive fire hose and there's a screen in the back and you put out fire. And they don't have to be a screen. We can go physical where they're just little light. Like you make them fit the Main Street time period. Make them look like they're tin. And maybe like the fire rises out of a flat building and, you could see that a blue light emits from the hose and you could see you're hitting it and then you see the little tin fire go down and the lights change. Something like that I think would be cute. And then at the end, like someone hands them a Mickey firefighter sticker. I just think something should be in there to make people go in there and admire what is there, but make more use of that backspace, which is kind of underutilized.
And you touched on this, and it's worth mentioning. Today is September 11th, right? Firefighters are a revered profession, and I think that was reinforced to people during the events of 9/11, how important this is, and it also sparked more interest in the firehouse, I believe, with the patches and things coming in from different
really
fire departments. And
off,
I think that's great. Any kind of exhibit back there. Let me put out a real fire. Put a fire back behind a firehouse.
Let's not do that.
A little fake building with fire company.
Maybe
shoot a giant fire hose into the Jungle Cruise.
But more profound, like while we're doing this update, if we want to put more profound plaques that explain more about what people are looking at on the walls and such, I think that'd be nice.
Yeah, there are some things that have gone away that I miss, but I understand why there's no more bank on Main Street.
Yeah.
But that would have been.
Yet you want the Wells Fargo wagon.
Yeah, I do. I like that stuff, right? I would like to actually have an old school bank there. It doesn't even have to be real. You can go, they could bring back the Disney dollars and you go to cash a check for your Disney dollars. I don't know. Teach people what the world used to be like, Tom.
See, I don't
Am I
believe
getting
that.
out of control?
No, I don't.
We get
think
the
you're-
police station
I
and
don't
arrest
think you're
people?
getting too out of control. But my viewpoint on this project was to try to keep it within reason, like what would be logical.
Yeah. I'm getting crazy.
I think it's a great idea. If we owned the park and ran it, I think you could do that. But I think there are a lot of, especially in a park, the busiest park in the world, there are a lot of operational necessities that are handled on Main Street. But the firehouse it's an underutilized space. Another idea for the firehouse, if that's too much, is I think put a character in a firefighter outfit and have a meet and greet in the back there. Something to draw people in there so they can admire more of what's going on in the
And
firehouse
a police
anyway.
station. You know, have a cop and a firefighter character.
I mean, there used to be like Keystone
Yeah.
Cop musical performers on main streets at Disney parks. It's not a thing anymore. But
YZF donor in the WIGS chat says, I want a post office. And, that used to be a thing that everybody wanted to postmark their postcard from Walt Disney World. And you have a guy. We actually, Tom, you and I have done this in Marceline at an old school post office where they're actually stamping our mail. Remember that? We got all these postcards and then they would stamp them for you in Marceline.
And there are Disney parks where you could still get that done. Tokyo still has special postmarks. It's a thing.
Why not?
You know what would solve a little bit of this? We should just bring the citizens of Main Street back.
Yeah.
Characters that play the different professions. If it's illogical and it doesn't make sense to spend the money on physical locations and make them exist, we can at least establish that somewhere beyond the Main Street you're seeing, somewhere in this town, these locations do exist because, there's the mailman. And there's, a Scoop Sanderson who writes for the newspaper. And there's a police officer, which Buena Vista Street, they still have their streetmosphere and they have a cop.
Did you ever do a thing when you were a kid where they sent you, when I was growing up, they sent us to Exchange City. And Exchange City was kind of like a mini Main Street USA inside a big warehouse somewhere.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And you had a job. So we interviewed for all of our jobs, and you had a cop. And he would write tickets to people for walking on the grass. Yeah. And you had the fire department, and you had the banker, and you had all these characters. But it felt alive.
This is apparently
I was the DJ.
This is a big Midwest thing.
Is it? Just teaching people how to exist?
Like having these fake little kid towns.
Yeah, you had to learn how to write checks and how to balance a checkbook and how to run your business. And everybody had a business. One guy might be printing stickers over here that they're selling or giving away.
Eventually, there was a theme park business that I forget the name of it, but they did this, and a lot of schools would do field trips to these. I think they're all out of business now. But I think in Central or South America, they still exist. Like a couple of them are still standing, or they're trying to bring them back. I forget the name of them, but
I think my
Kid
niece
City
went to
or something like
my niece went to like a middle school that was sort of a micro society. I don't know how committed they were to the micro society thing where you would earn money for doing things and be able to buy things and whatever.
But
I
in
don't
Miami,
know.
there was one of these. It was a big deal.
Yeah. Junior Achievement in some towns does something sort of like this, but for a little bit older kids, where they shake down businesses to sponsor. I shouldn't say shake down. That sounds negative.
Love this idea, but I kind of almost think in Walt Disney World, you're getting into Epcot territory.
Yeah.
So maybe we revisit this when we get to Epcot.
I'm not thinking of actually recreating this experience. I'm just thinking of
but
that's
now
what
you've
Main Street think.
You've got
feels
my
like to
gears
me.
turning. I'm like, wouldn't that be a fun little fake experimental prototype community of tomorrow for kids to run around and pretend to live in that ideal society? It's kind of a fun little kooky idea.
Yeah.
Maybe when we get to Epcot, we'll talk about that.
We just have to convince Disney that they can somehow take advantage of these kids and
I'm sure
make money out of it.
There were merchandising opportunities for this place in Miami and everything. Like they sold people the clothes and they
You can be the janitor in Tokyo, the custodial.
It's my dream.
And do they get to keep the costume?
I believe they do.
Yeah.
It's part of it, yeah. It's only for kids, though.
You can pay to have your kid clean the park.
My dream is to be a janitor at Tokyo Disney, and it'll never happen.
Probably.
They'll never let an adult do it. But let's at least settle on citizens of Main Street are brought back, because and we'll have the fire chief at that point. Let's bring some of that feel of this is a real place.
I considered also possibly putting making Main Street a little wider and putting a little grass median in there so that traffic could go, so you could have traffic coming up and down the street more easily.
What will the parade do?
It just goes down one or the other.
Median?
Comes back. I don't know. Go down one side
You
or the
can't
other.
widen Main Street.
Sure
what are
you
you
can.
doing?
Why wouldn't you widen Main Street?
Why?
Because all day long I can have
It's already
vehicles going down
super
each
wide.
side.
Now,
I can
when
have
we get to Disneyland, if you want to widen Main Street, we might spend a few $1 billion to do that because
Yeah.
it's kind of necessary. But we can't take out a side.
Who
of the street
cares
and
about the
widen.
parade?
You have
We're creating a theme park experience.
What are you going to do? So if you take one side and push it over, then the castle's off center. You'd have to move Cinderella Castle.
No, you have to walk down the median to be centered on the castle.
So you want to move both sides of the street out. You want to bulldoze Main Street in full.
We're widening
and
it.
Push.
We're widening the whole park, Tom. Some people were born to dream.
No, Charlie doesn't have to draw the things that are unrealistic. Charlie can focus on the things that
Imagine that you could have photo pass photographers where they're not impeding traffic because they're just in the median. You could stand on grass.
Billions of dollars just to widen the street.
No, we're building this from scratch.
LA?
Aren't we building this theme park from scratch?
No, we're fixing the Magic Kingdom.
Oh boy. So let me check. No, I didn't get that assignment. I thought we were just making our own Magic Kingdom of our dreams.
No, I understood the assignment totally different. We're fixing the park.
You have no idea how many billions of dollars this is going to cost them when we get to Adventureland and Frontierland.
Then maybe we just we'll have Charlie draw two different
Or
parts.
he could just draw an idealized look. Most concept art, you can't even tell what the hell it is anyway. It's just kind of, blurry, and you have to go through it with a microscope to see what anything is. Because the other thing I want to do is very expensive.
Worse than widening Main Street.
Well, so if you look at Tokyo, their hub is gigantic.
Yeah.
And I want that. I want when I'm at street level, I want to be looking down at people that are inside the hub. So a terraced view that makes it better for people to watch fireworks, for better to watch a castle show, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That would be very expensive.
I mean, they essentially tried with
big.
the space they had with the hub project.
This sort of little
10
hub
years ago.
things. Yeah.
I think they did a great job. I think the problem came down to operations. I think operationally they still don't know what they're doing with it, which I didn't understand because you built an outer circle. And once you built the outer circle, it's like, oh, that's great. I can go around the fireworks. And then half the time they don't operate it that way.
Right.
Half the time they use the outer circle for viewing. And I'm like, the point of this was to get around. You're using it for the thing it was supposed to avoid. You were supposed to save the galaxy, not leave it in ruin. What is the Obi-Wan Kenobi?
You were the
line?
chosen one. I don't know.
Oh, you're supposed to bring balance
to the force.
We're supposed to eliminate the dark side.
Blah,
No,
blah.
I don't know.
I don't
Something
know.
like that.
Something about
You get the idea.
ruining a franchise. I don't remember exactly what it was.
But let's widen Main Street.
Sure, why not? Do we want to talk about the castle? Are we happy with the castle that we have in Florida? Are we
Yeah.
jealous of the Paris castle?
They already stole several of our projects. I would just paint the castle back to what it used to look like, and that's what they're going to do. I will say this much. I am moving the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique out of the castle. This is Fantasyland, though. We're in the wrong land. Let's save this for
The
Fantasyland.
castle is sort of in the hub. I mean, I understand it's part of Fantasyland, but it's sort of part of
What would
the reveal.
How are
from
you
Main
going to
Street.
ruin Cinderella Castle? Go for it.
I just put in the castle from Paris. That's it.
No. I like Cinderella Castle. I mean, Paris is my favorite castle, but that's our castle, and it I would have said it would have been on this list. Like, paint the castle back to the old colors. They're doing it, so good on them. I don't have any other problems with Main Street. I mean, I don't like what they did to the back of the Emporium. I would fix that. Whatever the hell happened in there. The rest of the updates.
What do you mean the back of the
not
Emporium?
egregious. That back section, the athletic club, they destroyed that interior. It's awful.
That whole area, I don't know. Even back to where it meets Casey's and everything else.
It's a mess.
It's sort of a mess.
They took that side room and they made it more cash registers, but no one knows they're there. It's weird. It's super weird.
I
but it's
still
ugly.
prefer our Emporium to the one at Disneyland by a mile. The Disneyland Emporium's a disaster.
Yeah.
It feels cramped. The ceilings are low. I mean, it was built, it looks like it's of its time.
It's been remodeled, but
Yeah.
they kept a lot of, there's walls and such in the way that they kept. And I agree with keeping it. It's Disneyland. You want to keep some of that history. Functionally, it's not great, but look, I totally understand ripping down walls and opening up space. I don't think you have to do that at the expense of losing theme. And I think there's a little bit of that. The other rooms turned out okay. Like the front room, they built more register space and they built more queue space, but it all fits in. Like they put
That
stained
front
glass.
room never knows what it wants
They
to be.
put stained glass lamps in. I'm like, oh, that works. You got it. All right. Doesn't know what it wants to be.
Yeah, it seems like it's been like, okay, this is a Magic Band area. And they're like, never mind. This is a
they always
knick-knack
just
area.
shuffle, yeah.
This is just some registers now. On Tuesdays, we're just going to sell like T-shirts here.
Having all the registers down at the end so people shop all the way down as they leave and then cash out makes so much sense. My favorite store layout in the world is the confectionery in Tokyo. The confectionery in Tokyo is 2 rooms of merchandise. Now, it's all just like the stuff you take, the omiyage, the stuff you bring home and give people treats. But it's 2 rooms, and you go in the front door, and you work your way down, and you get to a little queue that's ahead of all the registers. And then there is a room that is purely registers. And at the end of the night, the way they crank through people is unbelievable. It's amazing. And I think, I actually think the store in Shanghai, I almost want to say the main store in Shanghai has that too.
I think there's one store layout that's better based on what I've heard that I haven't been there, which is McDuck's, where it tells a story of Scrooge. Like it tells you a story as you go through it of him being poor and starting out. And
it's always the Duffy. That's the Duffy store, the main Duffy store at this point. And it's always a mess in there. So operationally, it's not great. Story-wise, it's the best, yeah, because it's like the thrift shop and the what is that when you put stuff on consignment?
a consignment shop?
No,
Pawn shop?
Pawn shop, thank you. Then there's like a pawn shop in the middle, and then as you get to the richer side of town, it becomes the department store as you see his career progress.
Right.
And he becomes very affluent and successful.
He started from the bottom, now he's here. Good
But
job,
Main Street,
Scrooge McDuck.
I will say, like American Waterfront at Disney Sea is very much meant to be New York at the turn of the century. The idealized Midwest America that is Main Street, USA, I don't want to see like a lower rent district. I don't want, I like architecturally, our Main Street is the best. And I say that because I always say Paris's Main Street is the best. They're architecturally, they're the same. They're the same facades for the most part. Paris embellishes, which makes it the better one, honestly. But really, the basis is our Main Street. That's St. Louis, the grand St. Louis of the turn of the century. I think it works well. So I don't want to go story wise that deep.
No, I was just remarking that like an interior space that tells a story is pretty cool.
They should tell a story. I don't think the Emporium has a story right now. I think literally they just went in and were like, we need to clean up the store and make more space for people. Yeah. And they did that, and I think it was at the expense of story, which Disney always yells at us that everything should have a story. What is the story of the Emporium right now? That Osh Popham had like a nervous breakdown one day and was like, get all these racks out of here? I don't... Osh Popham like tripped over a clothing rack in the middle of the aisle and was like, get all of this out of here. Oh, man.
Out of all of the lands that I want to fix as we go through this exercise the next few episodes, Main Street USA is the one that I think needs the least fixing.
Yeah.
Our Main Street USA is fantastic. I think second probably only to Paris.
Yeah, I would say so.
So I don't think it's broken.
No.
But I think what we've done makes this far and away the best.
We need the
Main Street
bypasses.
USA.
Even if the bypasses were the only thing we talked about today that happened, the Magic Kingdom would be a much better place. Yeah. You just have to spend the money.
Yeah.
They didn't want to spend the money, so they just put up like fencing.
I mean, it is only the most popular tourist destination in the world. Why would you spend money on
Why would you spend money on infrastructure when you have
people come anyway? It's sold out, a lot. So
I don't know. But yeah, this is definitely the shortest list of fixes we have for any land. But let us know in the comments. If there's things you would change. We're leaving Tony's. We're just leaving
No,
it.
no.
What do you mean no?
No.
No, I'm leaving Tony's.
God, no.
We can fire the head chef and try again, but that interior is wonderful. It's so cute inside. Leave Tony's alone. Just fix the menu.
It seems like no matter what happens to the menu, it just remains a mediocre restaurant with a cool vibe. Maybe a bad restaurant.
I don't want to get rid of it, though. It's so perfect. It's a quaint little restaurant on Main Street and has all this beautiful Don Ducky Williams art in it. There's the statue of Lady and the Tramp with the fountain in the middle. There's the little alley scene in the corner. That the sunroom is wonderful. It's just a great place to have lunch. I love the patio when the 2 months of the year that it's nice out in Orlando. You go sit on that patio.
Can we have Tony with the accordion coming by?
Oh, I absolutely think he should be a thing. I think for the amount of money they charge in that restaurant, he should at least be walking around entertaining people. I think that'd be wonderful. More atmospheric entertainment for sure on Main Street. I think we want the citizens back. We want Tony.
Tony's speakeasy in the back.
No.
Just for adding bars.
You know. No.
I can't do your Tony accent, but you wanted vodka and soda, right? You're like, yeah, but that's like Coke. Yeah, Coke is a soda. Vodka, Coke.
Oh,
That microwaved it for you.
oh boy. Yeah, but I think those arcades would fix so much. And also there's revenue opportunities. I don't understand. They're so stuck on revenue opportunities that you could easily pay for that project by putting food and beverage and retail attachments. They would pay for that to happen. So let them happen. But we're not building the Main Street Theater. We're not doing that thing.
Okay.
We've decided
Main
no.
Street Opera House? Is that what you're talking about?
What? But no, the thing they canceled a couple
Oh,
years
yeah.
ago. That was a bad idea.
There's already a cinema.
It's a bad idea.
There's cinemas and opera houses. There's
Can
too much entertainment around.
Let's do this. The cinema right now has like the same merchandise all the other stores have. Let's make the cinema a cinema again. Let's just do it.
Okay.
Let's rip the store out of the cinema. We have more than enough retail opportunities between the other side of the street and what's on this side. Disney World, you're not fooling anyone. We know your SKU numbers are way down. You are selling way less different merchandise now than you have for most of the last 20 years. There's no reason to have stuff repeat and repeat and repeat over and over. So let's just close the cinema shop, turn it back into a place people could just sit in the air conditioning and watch cartoons. And let's just have that be that.
Fine with me.
So that's the last thing we're fixing.
Well, there you have it.
We're not putting you didn't want to put the magic shop back in or any of that stuff? The magic shop's a waste. At Disneyland, it's always empty. I don't understand how
The Disneyland magic shop has so much history associated with it that people would riot if they got rid of it, right?
Our House of Magic, like it's a great facade and it's a cool note, but time sort of
I don't know.
those
We'll have to
things
fill. Well,
by.
we're going to have arcades, right? There's going to be all kinds of stuff back there. We haven't really fleshed all that out, but
Keep things that are timeless. What's timeless is people want to go in an air-conditioned space and let the kids watch a cartoon while they cool down and get ready for the next thing they're going to do. So the cinema makes sense. Those other things probably don't.
right. Well, there you have it. We're through Main Street, USA. We got plenty left to do with the Magic Kingdom, and then moving on to all the other parks. It's going to be quite a long series, but don't worry. Tom and I will be back next week to record on definitely a different day for the next episode.
Of course, it'll be a different day. We'll be in different shirts.
Obviously. All right. Well, thanks for joining us on the WDW News Today podcast. We'd appreciate you check out Carousel of Products. We have so many products coming out right now.
It's a carousel of them.
It's a whole carousel of them. And I'm telling you, the Magnet of the Month Club has taken off.
It has.
The inflatable Gertie, there are still some available,
She
but
luckily
she's
has not
disappearing
taken
quickly.
off because we used the included ropes
stakes.
and stakes to keep her down.
But no, Gertie is selling. We're selling several every day.
Yeah.
Magnet Month Club going crazy. I counted down to extinction shirts. We've already sold out and restocked, and we're selling a lot again.
The initial 250 are gone, and we ordered another 250. And so, but I think they're already like a quarter of the way. Like they've been, we released them to WIGS members first, and I think we're out of some sizes already.
Peg Leg Pete shirt.
Yes, he's still Peg Leg Pete to me.
Do we want to talk about any of the other things that are almost ready?
No.
Okay.
Not yet. There's more than enough to purchase on Carousel Products right now, but we have so much cool stuff coming before the holiday season. I just want to thank people. This is I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think we've had more orders with Carousel Products since the beginning of the summer than we had in the whole 4 years prior that Carousel Products has existed.
That's true. I'd like to congratulate us and thank you.
Well, it's a team effort. I mean, there's a lot of people involved from like Wendy and Lori and, a number of us that put our hours in with that department. So
I think we found our stride a little bit. I think sometimes our merchandise was very for a narrow niche of people. I think it appeals to a broader group of people now, and that's good for everybody.
We have better stuff now.
And we have better stuff.
We're getting better at it. It's stuff you guys want.
We're getting better
because it's stuff that we want. That's the trick. Is if we make stuff we want.
And remember our tagline. We sell stuff to you so that we can afford to get more stuff and make the commercials for stuff you want. Isn't that
that was in the last show you said? Oh man, I believe it's we make car parts for the American working man because that's who we are and that's who we care about. Isn't that it?
Right. Yeah.
That's our Carousel of Products.
Thank you, Mr. Zelinsky. I appreciate
I am the dinosaur parts king. Call Tom Corliss, the Dino Parts King.
I think that's about enough of this. We'll see you next time on the WDW News Today podcast.
We'll see you real soon.
Bye.